what's going on, everybody? This is Josh Enomoto, and first of all, I want to thank you for the recent momentum that has come across my Twitter X account and also my website, Upper Deck Options. You know, this is just a labor of love, so to start getting some momentum, it's really meaningful to me, and I really appreciate it. And I have some news that I want to share with you all, and it's going to happen tomorrow, but I'm going to share it right now with you all ahead of time so you know what's coming up. So, as you know, I recently got hooked on this opportunity, Vivos Inc., and that's ticker symbol RDGL. Now, because it is a penny stock, it's traded over the counter. I don't have a platform to be able to share that just because of its extremely risky profile. And it also, I forget what the market capitalization is, but it's very, very small. It's well below the nano cap threshold of 50 million. So I want to say it was like something like 10 million or something around there when I checked the last time. Anyway, super risky. Don't really have a platform to talk about it by itself. However, I do have a platform to bundle it with other speculative ideas. And since I'm involved in RDGL, just putting it out as a disclosure, along with other speculative ideas that I genuinely believe in, I'm going to start broadcasting this idea of RDGL to a broader, to a mainstream audience. But I wanted to share that with you first. So the first article that's going to come out, it's going to come out tomorrow on barchart.com. And it will be very, very meaningful to me if you guys could just go read that article. I'm going to share with you all the link, of course, but be on the lookout for it. I'm going to share you the article. Please read it. Please share it with your friends, your subscribers. We want to get this information out there. We're all in it together. That's the beautiful thing about this. We're all believers in RDGL stock. We're all in this together. So this is mutually beneficial. You help me, I help you. You know, this is the symbiotic relationship that I'm trying to go for. Anyways, the three stocks that I'm going to talk about on bar chart is these are all stocks that I own, okay, and they're very speculative, high risk, high reward. So I just want to get that out there first. Okay, so the first name that I want to talk about, New Scale Power, that's ticker symbol SMR. This company specializes in small modular reactors. This company, New Scale, was the first company in the US to be approved for its SMR facilities. And it's not, from what I understand, it's not the only one, but that is also could be a good thing because it demonstrates that the US government is appreciative of the idea or believes in the idea, and that we could see more SMR facilities being built. I think New Scale has that first mover advantage, and so this is a great opportunity. Now, it is, again, highly speculative. However, the one fundamental factor that I believe the market is missing is that small modular reactors make better use or more efficient use of nuclear fuel. And by that, I mean, it's not only scalable, but also stackable. With SMRs, you can stack different functionalities. It's not just about generating power. You can generate heat through these facilities, or it could be part of a desalination process. There are many other processes that can be developed, that can be stacked upon the core business of generating power through nuclear fuel. So it's much more efficient, again, it makes more efficient use of the nuclear fuel, and therefore that plays right into the uranium shortage situation that we're seeing right now. I believe that's why over the past 5 days, SMR has blown up. It's gone up like, over 30% in the last 5 sessions. Also, looking at the point and figure chart, there's a clear, when you look at the supply demand picture, there's a clear shot to 375. So if you want to get aggressive, the $4 calls, depending on how aggressive you want to be with the expiration date, but the $4 calls, I believe, are in play. Now, what's interesting is that major institutions, you can tell this through the Fintel's options flow screener, major institutions are selling short calls, and as well, there's very high interest. The short interest as a percentage of float is getting close to 30% the last time I checked. So you have short interest in the open market, and you have essentially short interest in the options market. The bears are really exposed, in my opinion, and they could be in for a nasty surprise because people are not paying attention, in my opinion, to the efficiency catalyst. Now, the second idea I want to talk about is PLBY Group or Playboy Group. This is, I'm going to use euphemisms here, but this is a company that specializes in intimacy wellness. Now, yeah, I suppose the idea can be very controversial if you're an extremely conservative individual. However, the concept of intimacy wellness has become much, much more accepted today than ever before. It used to be like, you don't talk about that stuff. Now it's like, it's pretty much out in the open. It's become mainstream. And I think a lot of the old suits on Wall Street don't appreciate how much this kind of stuff has been accepted by both men and women. And when you're talking about the return to social normalization, coming back from COVID, you're going to get more people coming together, literally. And also the market growth for intimacy toys, it's pretty big, okay? According to Grandview Research, from 2023 to 2030, analysts project that the compound annual growth rate could hit about 8.5%. So this is it's already a large addressable market for PLBY, and the addressable market could become even bigger than it is right now on a relative basis. Also, PLBY, there are in the options flow screener, if you check right now, it's on Fintel. There are major players that are selling call options. So they're betting against PLBY that it will not rise above the certain strike prices, okay? And there's also high short interest and high short interest ratio. Let me quickly explain. Short interest as a percentage of float is pretty high. That's the percentage of the float that is actually being borrowed for the purpose of shorting activities. And the short interest ratio is basically the days to cover, how many trading days it will take to unwind or cover all the short interest that's out there. So when you have both high short interest and high short interest ratio, you're talking about a significantly bearish position. But again, if enough bulls come in, this could panic out the bears, because the bears are they have negative positions, so to speak, in the derivatives market and in the open market. So be on the lookout for that. There could be a panic there, and it could. Again, people are just not paying attention to how strong of a market this adult wellness or intimacy wellness market really is. Okay, and of course, finally we get to Vivos Inc. I was mistaken before on my website. I used to call it therapeutics. I was dealing with a bunch of different therapeutics companies. I just got mixed up. That's my bad. I've corrected the error on my website. Okay, so Vivos Inc. The idea here is that the company injects, I don't know how to pronounce this, yttrium 90. It's a radioactive material directly into tumors, and it blows it up from the inside. Now, the best way I could just think about this is like it's like a Durandal bomb. Okay, the anti-runway bomb. When you drop a regular bomb on a runway, it does mostly surface damage. But what a Durandal does is that when the bomb drops, when it hits the runway, it doesn't just blow up there. It burrows itself down into the runway, and then on a time delay, it blows up. And that's a similar concept to what's going on with Vivos. They inject that tumor directly they inject the therapeutic, the yttrium 90, directly into the tumor, and then blowing up the tumor from the inside makes it much more effective and protects the outer healthy tissue. Now, of course, anytime you're dealing with radioactive material, there's always a danger, okay? Always a danger. However, the half-life of yttrium 90, to my understanding, it's a very small half-life. We're talking about like 3 days or something like that. That's the half-life. So it's not like you're injecting plutonium into your cell. So I just want to clarify that. As well, yes, will there be radiation risks? Of course. However, you got to look at it, compare that in context to the traditional approach of oncology, where you're just blasting the whole patient, right? You're blasting the whole patient with radiation. So you tell me, would you rather have directed a precision strike of radiation, or would you want your whole body to be irradiated? Okay, I know what I would take if, God forbid, something like that happened to me. I know exactly what I would take, and it's similar to the concept of the Durandal bomb versus regular bombs. A regular bomb is like the traditional approach. You're just dropping a bunch of bombs, but you'll get the runway and maybe only the surface of the runway, and you'll get a whole bunch of other buildings that you don't necessarily want. You get a whole bunch of collateral damage. Here with the Durandal bomb, it's one bomb, and it just goes directly, it burrows itself into the runway and blows up. Just like this yttrium 90, it burrows itself into the tumor and blows it up. This is precision. This is a precision strike. This is something that is part of the personalized medicine approach. You're going to see more and more companies. That's what my biotech source has told me. You're going to see more and more companies send their therapeutics to clinical trials using a similar approach. And so, given the already encouraging data, the safety data from animals that we have seen with Vivos treatment protocols, I think, I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think the phase 1 study, once if and once they get approval for phase 1 clinical trials, and I believe, the phase 1 will focus primarily on the safety of the therapeutic. I think the data that we've seen lends itself to believe that it will have a successful phase 1 clinical trial once we get there. So I understand it's very risky. Today it closed at 6.2 cents, and it even gives you a warning now, right? If you, depending on what kind of platform you trade on, you'll get a warning before you buy RDGL saying, hey, this is over the counter. Are you sure you want to do this? Okay. So it's not just me saying it's risky. Everybody else is saying it's risky. But I'm looking at the data. You look at the board of directors of the company, and you're talking about high-level people. You're talking about high-level partnerships with Johns Hopkins University and many other medical scientific institutions. There is something here, in my opinion. Okay, I don't want to guarantee anything, but I really think that there's something here. The more you dig into this opportunity, the more exciting it gets. Of course, there are some risks to consider, such as, prior the share, I don't want to say manipulation, but there's been share splits, and a long time ago the valuation was sky high. Okay, and so there are some questions about the viability of this opportunity. There's going to be a lot of risk. Who would have thought that cryptocurrencies, you could have bought them for pennies on the dollar? Who would have thought that they would have soared to however 10,000% up or whatever it is, right? Who would have thought? This is that type of opportunity, high risk, high reward. However, when you stack up the positives and then you stack up the negatives, in my opinion, the positives outweigh the negatives. And that's why I'm putting myself out there. I'm in it with you guys, and I'll continue to be in it. I think this is a wonderful opportunity. I also just want to say thank you all for sharing this opportunity, sharing your opinions with me. I'm feeling really pumped about this. Feeling pumped about all these names. Okay, so once again, SMR, PLBY, and RDGL. Get in on it.